So, what's been going on this past week? Right? What has been going on in your neck of the woods? Does it start with a C and end with a iris? Coronavirus? Jeez. Wow. This coronavirus is no joke. Evening, how are you? This is Grez on the Grez channel. I am Grez. Hope everything is going well for you guys. Yeah. Woo. I mean, honestly, the day the world has stopped, and especially the sports world too, all the sports has stopped. March 12th, 2020, that seems to be when everything has stopped, when the world has stopped. Coronavirus. You know, I'm going to go back with you on this. And I'm going to say the same thing that I've been saying before in regards to this. I think you have, and this is with all seriousness, I think you honestly just have to take a precaution, right? Precaution where you try to avoid contact with your face, your eyes. If you touch, if you're in public and you touch doorknobs, bathroom stalls, urinals, if you make contact with that, toilet seats in public, which is all something that we would have clean and sanitize our hands anyway. So it's like if you haven't been practicing being extra clean and sanitizing hands, now it might be the time to do it. Just do it. Just carry your hand sanitizer around. That's what to me, what seems to be the solution for all of this. Hand sanitizer, wash your hands under warm water, for a good 20 seconds. Just be proactive. Be proactive. Be aware of your surroundings. Listen, if you see a guy hacking up a lung, by the way, the coronavirus does affect the lungs. But I mean, if you see a guy hacking up a lung here, I mean, then move away. Go somewhere else. Simple as that. You're not going to be standing next to the guy, right? I mean, geez, but the hysteria, the craziness has, I think the hype has affected everyone. Like I could tell you from an experience that I had at work. One of my colleagues who deal with the public. We're on the financial side of things here. One of our clients comes in and he's like, I don't want to stand too close to you because I have a fever. Not to me directly, but to one of my colleagues. And we're like, what? What do you do? All right, nice, bye. I mean, nice to see you, adios. Now, leave. And, and he made contact with a couple of colleagues, not like shaking hands or anything. but was in that general vicinity, and next thing you know, the Lysol air freshener comes out, the Clorox wipes come out, all of that just comes out and just does a good rub down, a good scrub-a-dub-dub. The next thing you know, the Lysol is going around the whole offices, and everywhere. It makes its round. And then, you have people that are using, the coronavirus as an excuse. Already it begins, day one, day two, I can't pay my mortgage because of the coronavirus. So you have those people that are looking to take advantage of a situation. I'm just telling you about, what is going on locally here in the city. The governor has declared, has said no, there cannot be gatherings, public gatherings of 500 or more people in one general area, if I remember this rule correctly. So therefore, no concerts, no special, no special events, no sporting events. And that sucks because you wonder about you have some people rely on, MLB closed, that's on a grander scale, but Barclays Center, MSG, all these places are closed, and that's where a lot of people rely on their income. It's like primary jobs, secondary jobs, to make ends meet. New York City is not a cheap place to live. It's a very expensive place to live. So, you feel for all these people that are now without, said jobs. What are they going to do? Well, there's really not much that, they could do. They have to struggle. They're struggling to make ends meet. And, it's definitely, it's not easy. So, the virus has, the hype has, taken over. It has taken over. Right now, there is a big, as far as what's going on in the city with the coronavirus. Right now, there's a big talk about the schools. You have in New York City, you have the public school system. Well, when I say New York City, that's within, the New York City area, and I'm not including upstate. Just in the immediate New York City area, near New York City, near Wall Street, near the heart of everything, near the city. You have that school district, and then you have the Long Island School District, which is, Suffolk County, Nassau County, which is our own, separate school district that, New York City is. So, the talk here, and as of yet, right now, Nothing has been final about the schools. The New York City public school system. Being that there, the attendance in these schools on a whole is greater than 500 people. Classrooms obviously are smaller size, 20 to 25 people. But the mayor, the mayor of New York City, who essentially has the final word on it, on the comings and goings over here, as far as the public school system, has decided to keep them open. The reason why he states is, again, a lot of people. This is an expensive city to live in, and a lot of people have to pay their bills. Some people are unfortunately homeless, but because the school system is free in New York, their kids, even though they're homeless, they're able to go to school. Okay, they're able to get an education. They're able to stay off the street. Some families, again, because New York City is so expensive, they're not able to, the public school system gives 2 meals. They have access to 2 meals. And his whole thing here, the mayor's whole thing, is if the public schools close, then the children will go hungry. He said that he has also put on more medical staff to help here combat anything that might happen. Now, as a parent, completely respect that. Completely respect that. You never want no kid to go hungry. And I think, part of me thinks that there's a way to kind of combat that problem. Like, I know there in the city here, there is something called Catholic Charities, which what they do is they, at least to the elderly, they deliver hot meals. So if the public school system were to close, let's say, I'm sure organizations like Catholic Charities or other charities that do deliver meals, hot meals, would be able maybe to do this in some way. Now, I don't know if that capacity, if they have those type of capacity, but that's, maybe always a possibility, always an option. Maybe there was some central location where they could open up to get these, to make these foods available for the children. See, and I get, and I get why a lot of like sporting events, baseball, for example, basketball, XFL, hockey, why everything has been kind of like suspended, because like if there is someone, okay, that does get sick, it could spread very easily. It's contagious from what I understand. And then if you have a certain area which is contaminated, you might not have all the resources or the doctors to combat all these new people that are coming in to your hospitals, to your doctor's offices with a contagious condition. and you already have other people that were sick prior to this, and they have something else that they're dealing with. So you don't want everyone to all of a sudden be coming into the hospitals where your hospitals are overflowing, and it's just too much going on. So I think that is why they're doing this, is they're trying to quarantine, keep everything under control before it spreads like a wildfire. You're going to have the patients already outnumber the doctors. Since this is so viral that it just automatically knock out all your capabilities very, very quickly. So I get why they're doing that. And I that's why, a part of me, would be for doing this, to kind of try to contain it and figure out a game plan. Maybe, and it's probably just doing a complete wipe down of a location, of an area, like of the schools, let's say, and then opening them up again. I know the Catholic schools here, some Catholic schools have said that they will be closed for the week, and then they will reassess things. Certain CUNY schools already have pretty much said that as of the 19th, they will be closed as well, and they will be dealing with having classes online. So things are in motion, and just a crazy week in general, right? Totally crazy. So that's what's been happening. Catholic schools, some of them it's different. Some of them are Catholic schools is a private schooling here. You pay for it, you pay tuition, so they're not governed they're not governed by the mayor. So they're really, this is Catholic elementary schools. They really have they're the authority really to decide which way do they want to go. So some of them have been closing, for a week's time. But yeah, it's just never just the whole vibe in this city, especially in this past week. It's almost like that, uncertainty, right? Everyone is. I remember taking the subway a couple days this week, when it was Monday or Tuesday, and the subways were definitely a lot less crowded. I think a lot of people have stopped taking the subway. Maybe they went the route of taking, I don't know, maybe the private cars, maybe a bus, which is a little bit more cleanliness than a train. That could have been it. But yeah, it was just in general, it looks like the number of people taking public transportation into the city, like subways, has gone down. And it's weird. But, people have seemed to be, with all this craziness that's been going around here, and probably in your neck of the woods too, the people seem to have been they seem to be a little bit more friendlier. Seem to be a little bit more friendlier, and why can't it always be this friendly? People are nice, and they wanted, they say, oh, stay safe. Anything I could do to help you. But, yeah, I can't remember when's the last time. I probably haven't shaken a hand in a week. Yeah, everyone's like, well, I go for the hand. And that one guy's like, one of the attorneys that we work with, nice guy. God bless him, 70-something. He has a wife that's in his 30s, so this guy's in shape. He's always, he's on top of everything. A 70-year-old acting like, he's a 30-year-old. He's like, you know what, we can't do a handshake today, but we could do an elbow bump. An elbow bump. Yeah, so people, it's just uncertainty. People do not know, what's going to happen. I could tell you, though, that whatever side of the fence you are on, you gotta, sometimes the best remedy for things is to laugh, right? The best remedy is definitely to laugh. Because if you're serious all the time, then, well, you're going to be having a very miserable time, and you can't cope with things. You gotta take a step back sometimes and smile and chuckle about certain things. I was actually, someone told me that they were at a bank, just making deposits or whatever, and someone walked in to someone walked into the bank, and they had a mask on, one of those masks that the doctors wear, at the hospitals, or the dentist wears, one of those masks. By the way, those masks, and mask in Purell, if you go into the hood, that's like the new crack. That's what people are selling now. That's going for a little bottle of Purell is going for $35 a pop. No joke. But anyway, so the person comes in with a mask. Everyone got all were all on their toes, scared, nervous, because they thought that he had the coronavirus. He's like, no, this is a bank robbery. And, at that point, everyone just kind of, took a breath, took a sigh of relief. Thank God, because I thought this guy had the coronavirus. It's just a robbery, no big deal. Here, take my money. Hey, honestly, with the coronavirus, it's funny how it works. I used to have to cough to make sure that no one hears a fart, and now you have to fart to make sure that no one hears the cough. Hey, listen, true story. You do not want to be accused of having that coronavirus. Honestly. Someone find Betty White. She is a national treasure. Make sure she's A-okay. Make sure she's, make sure this coronavirus is nowhere near Betty White. Please, a national treasure. Did I tell you, Actually, I was online. So it was Walmart. It was a long line, and I didn't want to wait online forever. Started coughing. See, I still got the cough, and I said to myself, "Well, geez, this cough is getting a lot worse." Like I said it a little bit too loud. That when I got back from China, since I got back from China, and then all of a sudden, everyone just ran away. I was at the head of the line. Problem solved. You could do that too. If you want, you could do that too. Listen, Jeffrey Dahmer has still claimed more lives than the coronavirus has, honestly. Okay, listen, that was a little bit dark. That really wasn't appropriate. But you got what I'm saying. I think we are, as a society, we are a little bit over reacting. Just again, use hand sanitizer, soap, warm water. I'm sure will be fine. We will be fine. So, speaking of, just going back to the coronavirus, because I did forget to mention this. With the coronavirus, don't have to worry about the people are actually now that people are going to be quarantined, and some of them already, like in the New York City area, already talking about not going to work and not going to school, just taking it back from the coronavirus. If you're into finances, which I do like to talk about on this channel here every once in a while, my stock tip for you would be to maybe buy stock. I don't know. I think it's a publicly traded condom. I think it's a publicly traded company, and especially now, buy it when it's low. Buy Trojan Durex stock, because people are going to be home. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. They are afraid to go out to eat now. No one's going to a buffet, that's for sure. People are afraid. So what people are going to be doing is they're going to be having a ton of sex. And some people may be ready for kids, others may not. If you're not ready for kids, as a public service announcement, you should definitely use those condoms. So invest in Durex, Trojan. Their stock is going to go up immensely during this period. And then eventually, when things settle off and everything comes back to normal, then that's when I would trade, or that's when I would sell the stock, because then it's going to go back to its norm trading position. You're welcome. My tip for you. Now, McDonald's making the news again. I just love McDonald's here. We love McDonald's on this channel. They've now introduced, it hasn't hit every single market out there, but they have introduced the news this week, the double Big Mac. And what that means, and the little Big Mac. Okay, the little Big Mac is for, the people that, are a little uncool. Okay, it's the Big Mac bread with the Big Mac patty, the small one, a little bit of Big Mac sauce, a little bit of Big Mac lettuce. Big Mac lettuce. What's Big Mac lettuce? A little bit of lettuce, a little bit of Big Mac sauce, and it's without it's without the that second layer. It's just a mini version of a Big Mac. Okay, you've deprived yourself of a full Big Mac, which is absolutely out of this world. But okay, I respect you. You might be on a diet, maybe. But then you have the double Big Mac, I believe it's called, where it's a double. Pretty much you're getting 2 extra hamburger patties. Kind of like how you think of a double quarter pounder, which was absolutely delish. This is a double Big Mac, double meat. Simple, delicious. More meat, more better. More meat, no better, more better. And in a world where people are more now, in a time where people are more health conscious more than ever, McDonald's just giving the big middle finger and saying, F that. F that. So that's it, guys. Take advantage of that Big Mac. It's delicious. That's what we're all doing. Eat that double Big Mac. F your diet. F it. Well, it's not completely F it, because we do want to be around here for the long term haul. Not telling you to eat Big Macs every day. You get the point. Not actually, but every other day is fine. Until next time, guys, adios. See ya. Over and out.